Hello, in this video, I'm going to show you a newer, improved version of the appointment booking feature on Google Calendar. So if you've ever used the appointment slot feature on Google Calendar before, it's basically a way for you to block off your schedule and allow people to make appointments with you. But they always had to have a Google account and they usually had to be in your Google domain for it to work properly. But now Google has added a new feature where people who are not in your Google domain are able to book appointment times with you. And you can even have it be smart calendar where it looks at your existing schedule and then figures out that there might be a conflict if you have another meeting going on. Plus, people who don't have Google accounts can also book an appointment time slot with you as well. So, makes it a lot easier if you're wanting to use this for conferences with parents, case conferences, or just booking a side time with people who maybe support the school or maybe are involved in your PTO that might not necessarily have Google accounts or Gmail accounts. So, with that being said, what you'll need to do is open up Google Calendar. And what you're going to do is right below this calendar icon here on the left hand side, you're going to click Create, and there's a little drop down arrow beside Create. And then what you're going to do is select appointment schedule. So what we're going through are a couple of different steps to set up a separate appointment calendar, essentially. So that calendar will not show every single detail of what you would usually see in Google Calendar because maybe you don't want to communicate that with everyone out there on the web. But what it will do is look at your existing calendar that you have, look at any blocks of time that you always want to have available for bookings as well as times you don't want to have available. And it's going to generate a calendar for that. So it gives people a basic view of your calendar while also making sure that you're not double booked. All right. So what I'm going to do here is maybe I'm making a calendar here and I want it to be a one-on-one tech training. All right, so I have that. I gave it a title. You can set how long the appointments can be as well if you would like. You have a couple of different options here. It can be anything from 15 minutes to a custom time frame if you wanted to do that. I'm going to stick with 30 minutes. And then what you can do is set up appointment slots here so it's frequently occurring. So if I want this to be the same for every single week, I can do that. I can do not repeat, so I can have it a little bit more custom, but I'm just going to have this as repeat weekly. And I can select what days I want to be available or unavailable. So for this day, maybe I'm unavailable all day because I have existing meetings on Monday, so I could cross that off entirely. And then what I can do here is select different time periods during the day that I want to be available. So on Tuesdays, maybe I'm free from 10 to 12, and then also from 2 to 4. All right. And then I can also just copy that to all the other days if I would like. Or I can remove some of these different days if I would like and keep other ones. All right. So have those set up there. Those are my days. And then what I can also do is set up a scheduling window here. So if I want this to be set up a little bit differently on my scheduling window, that means that people have a window of time that they can start booking. So I can set this for a range. So if I know that this is only going to be a functional calendar for me through the end of the school year, then I can do start time and end dates. So now through perhaps the end of the school year, which is around this time, we're going to go with May 27th. All right. So, and then because maybe my work schedule in the summer is a little bit different. Okay. The other things I can do is allow them to book at least 60 days in advance or less. I have total control over that. And then I can also set the threshold for how soon they can book an appointment. So the minimum time frame is up until they can book that. I usually like to be a little bit more gracious here, and I'll do less than 12 hours. Let's do 2 hours. All right. So you can't book within 2 hours of the time slot that you want. And then what I can also do is indicate times or indicate days that I'm available. All right. So I can always go through and check those. I can also do an appointment setting to where I only have so many times a day I can have one of these appointments. I can also set a buffer so I'm not going from meeting to meeting to meeting if I would like. So I can do a 10-minute buffer, and there we go. All right, so I have those all set up. I can add a description here as well. I have even more options as I go through this. I can set up my picture. I can have a location. If you want this to be a virtual meeting, I can select Google Meet. This is the booking form, the things I want them to enter. I can add additional items if I want, but I'm okay with that. I'm going to do calendar information for myself, and then I'm also going to do an email reminder too. And I would do that probably an hour or maybe 2 hours before. You can even do another one 10 minutes and whatnot. So I have those all set up. We're good to go. And I clicked save. All right. So whenever that's finished, I'm not quite done yet. Okay. I have all of my little appointments and things set up. What I'm going to do is open my booking page. And this up here, this top link is my booking page. And this shows you when I'm available and when I'm not. And what we're going to do is this is what I would share with people. And this is how they would go through and book an appointment. So what I'm actually going to do is open this up in a different tab under a different profile so you can see what this looks like for someone who's not the owner of this calendar. So I'm going to select this top URL, open it here on my other. It's kind of funny. I'm going to book an appointment with myself. And we only set up a few days here that I could do appointments. And we also set some specific time slots. And if you notice here, on Tuesday the 12th, I had initially said that I was available from 10 to 4, but it looks like I have a meeting later that day. I also have a meeting on this day. So not all of those times are available right away. So usually be 2 to 4, but I have something else going on. So it automatically populated and changed those different options. So whenever I'm going to go through and schedule an appointment, I'll select it. It automatically populated my information here because I was signed in on a Google account, but this is what I would add. And then I basically get an email that has this sent to my email, and they can join whenever it gets going towards that day. So again, just a really helpful option, especially if you're wanting to set up times where parents can meet with you, parents and guardians, case conferences, all of those things, or even with your PTA, PTO, if you're administrators. If you have questions, let us know. This is a fairly new feature. It was rolled out to everyone in Google Domains about a week ago, so everyone should see it now.